Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tommy and welcome to today's tutorial where I'll be finally creating an enclosure for the Australovenator. It's been weeks since it's been in the game and I kind of initially didn't know what to do with it, what to do with the dinosaur. I was excited to get the dinosaur. It was it was looking really nice and I finally released it in my game as well. First, I was like, what do I do? Red Safari again? I mean, I did the Red Safari like 3 times already, so I didn't want to repeat myself. And then this idea came to me. Well, actually, it wasn't an idea that came to me on my own. It was actually an idea that was suggested to me by someone on the Instagram named Mikhail Chako. At least I hope that's the pronunciation. So I really want to thank you, buddy, for this idea. You suggested that I do a ranch for dinosaurs, and I was like, okay, the Australovenator is a dinosaur that I really feel fits the desert environment, and that's why I decided to do this ranch, like a high security facility. What are words? And I really wanted to capture like the Wild West ranch kind of thing, so I just like did this path design. I wanted to just use the white path because I think that it fit the ranch aesthetic, and I wanted to use the Jurassic Park buildings because I thought that they looked the most like they could be on a ranch. I was checking up pictures of ranches and how they look. And on each ranch, I would see like this huge space for the animals, and that's why this enclosure is so huge. And I love how it turned out. I love how huge it turned out, and it just like had to be like that. So going into this, I was a little like I don't want to say that I didn't have a plan or that I didn't know what I was doing, but I was also improvising quite a lot. I decided to do fencing around the whole thing, and with the fences you will see that I broke several of my rules. This is the first one. It's as you can see, the fence doesn't have any, like typical shape that you would think a fence could have or should have, and I will be breaking another one of my rules, and you'll be quite surprised when you find out which rule that is, because it's something that I always advise against. And if you have an idea of what it might be, just write it in the comments before we get there. And it's a biggie. And so I just like took these buildings from the Jurassic Park era because I thought the DTW, I forgot no. I always want to say WTF, then I'm like, well, actually, DFW? Department of Fish and Wildlife. I finally know the DFW, yeah. Those I think are too industrial, so that's why I opted for the Jurassic Park buildings. And I love the Jurassic Park buildings towers because they really capture the feeling of this ranch environment. And I was going for all of these buildings and not buildings, but I was trying to put straw on the roofs. Like I was always going for the roofs. Is that how you say it? I'm not really sure. And then I realized that I left too much space over here, but I'm like, it's a ranch. It's supposed to be huge. It's supposed to be big. It's supposed to be like old. And yeah, there can be space. It was a little hard then when I was decorating it and I was trying to do a build under 2 hours, and that's why the decorations here are, well, there are decorations, but I didn't go so heavy with the decorations this time. I was just like, I was decorating these cages over here because this is like the facility area, and the tour goes through the facility area. So you first get like, as I imagine it, you get like the tour guide that tells you how things work here at the Australovenator ranch, as weird as it sounds. And you go through the ranch at first, and then you go out to the wild back, and you go around the enclosure to catch glimpses of these animals. But you also have viewing galleries all around the place. You have viewing galleries by the ranch, or like right next to the enclosure, so you can see it. And now I'm editing the environment. I didn't go for any palms whatsoever because this is a ranch. This is supposed to be in the middle of wilderness somewhere. This is pretty much the American environment, I guess, even though it's Australovenator and it should really be like Australian desert. But I decided to do a ranch, which is like a typically American thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are there? I'm not really. I'm sorry. I'm not really that. I'm not really at home with the all the Australian culture things. So I hope I don't offend anyone with this video. I mean my best. Because during my studies we studied the English culture and politics and everything, the American one, but not so much Australia and New Zealand, which is a shame because I would love to visit one day. That's like still on my bucket list. Going back to editing the enclosure and the whole place, it was huge. It was really like a very complex build, and that's why I didn't want to go all overboard with the decorations. And I thought that when it comes to having a ranch, it shouldn't be really like that much or that heavily decorated. I just decorated the guest areas and the guest sections because I thought, okay, it's for people to come and see these animals. It's like I don't know, you do a trip with your family to the ranch, and instead of your regular cows and buffaloes, you got Australovenator there, weirdly enough. And then I was like, okay, let's put some decorations and tables and chairs to the areas where the guests are going to be, and I edited it a little bit and added some few minor details. Of course, I was adding a lot of rocks because this is supposed to be a desert ranch. It's supposed to be somewhere out there. But then I decided, okay, I should, like put some decorations around the pathworks and pathwalks and everything. So that's what I was doing here. And this is the ranch portion, or the enclosure portion of the ranch. As you can see, the enclosure is huge, and I made also I made the area for like when they herd them back to like the main part where they're supposed to like sleep or something. And I wanted to do these grounds uneven because I imagined that, like the outbacks somewhere in the American desert are looking kind of like this, like you don't get much even ground there. And that's why, as you can already see, I broke my rules, and yes, I do be having crooked fences in this build. And however, when you have uneven fences, make sure to smooth them out. If you commit the crime of having an uneven fence in your park, just at least make sure that it's smooth. But I really thought that for this build it is appropriate because I was really going the elevation is everything for an enclosure like this. When you look at it from, like when if you go back to the beginning of this video where it started and you see it's all flat, it doesn't give you the ranch feeling at all. It doesn't give you ranch. If you Google some pictures of a ranch, you always have uneven grounds, like like these, you have some elevation to it. And once you add this excessive amount of elevation, it really gets the ranchy, deserty feeling that it's supposed to be having, with one huge lake somewhere down in the middle, and of course the shrubs. I was using the cacti shrubs as the base, and then you go haywire with the fourth type. I don't really know what they're called, if they even have a name, but these do make the enclosure justice, and I really think that they do complete it. And we're doing some final touches over here, and I think that we are ready to let some Australovenators loose in here. And here they are. This is the first batch of the Australovenator. They are really, I mean, I love them. It's not like the full clutches of eggs, because some of them were blank and I didn't want to, you know, have ones with blank pattern. I really wanted to make them colorful. This is the view from the car that you get, and some other views as well. And this is the Australovenator hunting, which I loved. I love this animation. First, I wanted to release some Homalocephalus in there, but then I was like, okay, let's not be cruel. I know that people do it in their games, and despite the fact that I think that Homalocephaly is overrated and I would love to see it get violently eaten by an Australovenator, I'm just like not that kind of guy. I'm a huge pacifist. I hate it when the dinosaurs are fighting, and I had to do it for the Jurassic Labyrinth that the trailer dropped this Sunday. I hope you guys liked it. And I had to do all this massacre, and I had to record it in the park, and I was like, that's not me. This is so much not me. But actually, I kind of enjoyed it. I'm not really sure. I mean, I found the dark side of of Jurassic Tom, I guess. And this is the Enclosure. I really love this environment, the desert environment, the cacti environment. Initially, I wanted to do something different for the Australovenator, but it would be even bigger than this. And then I decided that I will do a park out of it, like a whole new park, which will come next year. Because I have so many things planned for this year already that this one will have to wait. But it's going to be in the desert, and I promise that it's going to be worth it. But I don't want to get ahead of myself too much, because then, you know, like I promise you guys things, and then, you know, like who knows, maybe I don't deliver. I will try to deliver, but this is my cue. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. My name is Tommy. If you like the video, please like, comment, and share with your friends. And if you think that you will like my upcoming content, please do consider subscribing, because there is much more coming. Have the greatest of the days. Until the next time, bye-bye.